First, a little backstory. I was 17. For my birthday, my parents surprised me with a gift I have been wanting for years. A brand spanking new metal detector. Not those cheap ones either. This was a top-of-the-line Equinox 800 from MindLab, roughly a $900 setup. You can imagine my surprise as I tore the paper back and revealed this behemoth of a machine. I was ecstatic. I could not get it out of the box and assembled quick enough. We just moved into our new house about a few months ago, and was the perfect place to metal detect. The house was built during the Civil War period. The town built this massive 3-bed, 2-bath house to attract a doctor to the town, and through my research, it seems to have succeeded. A little info on the layout of the house. This will come into play later. On the ground floor, as you come through the front door, directly in front of you, and a little to the right, was the stairs that led to the top floor of the house. Directly under the stairs was a door that led to the downstairs bathroom, a small half bath with just a toilet. To the right of the stairs was our spare bedroom. It was still undergoing renovations that never got completed by the previous owners. To your left, there was an entry to the living room. As you passed through the living room, to the right you entered the kitchen, which was complete with a small island in the center. Directly across from the island, where the kitchen table was located, was a huge window that you could view our fenced-in backyard. A classic white picket fence enclosed it and gave it that old-timey look. As you walk out the kitchen, you're back in the main hallway by the back door. Directly across from the kitchen was the entrance to my bedroom. It was just a medium-sized room with a walk-in closet and one window facing the backyard and one facing the side yard. Now, onto the upstairs. There was a small landing halfway up the stairs that cut to the left. At the top of the stairs, looking straight, there was a hallway that ended with a window facing the side yard. Halfway down this hallway were doors on either side. The one to the right was my parents' bedroom, and the one to the left was our full bath. Now that you have a general idea as to the layout of the house, I can tell you all the details of the scariest incident that has ever happened to me. Stepping out of the front door and onto our wraparound porch, it was a beautiful spring day here in northern Georgia. 70 degrees, with a slight breeze and not a cloud in the sky. Within a few minutes of me switching on my machine, I get a signal. One of my favorite features of this machine is it tells you how deep the target is, and usually what it is following a number sequence that identifies each metal with a designated number. And as luck would have it, it was reading something silver about 5 inches deep. Yes! I scream excitedly. I start digging, and after 30 seconds or so, I revealed my treasure. A Coke pull tab. Son of a bitch. I chuck the pull tab into the bushes and cover the hole back up and continue the search for my elusive Civil War era treasures. After roughly 10 minutes of finding the pull tab, I get a signal that indicated a penny about 4 inches deep. Better not be another fucking pull tab, I swear to God. I mumble under my breath, and to my surprise, it was far from it. I had unearthed an 1864 Indian head penny. It had a brilliant patina on it. For those who are unaware of what a patina is, it is a brown or green film on the surface of bronze or similar metals, produced by oxidation over a long period of time. The detail on this coin was as if the owner had just dropped it yesterday. You could even make out the full Liberty on the headdress. I quickly rush into the house to show my parents the wonderful find I have found. "Mom, Dad, look what I found," my father remarks with a "That's an amazing find, Cory. I haven't seen one of those since I was little." My dad was an avid collector of coins. I just never got into it, unfortunately. My mom was a little less excited, but she acted the part anyway. "Yay, you found a penny," she said with a forced sense of excitement. "It's not just a penny. This is a Civil War penny. It was minted during the Civil War period, and they are extremely hard to find, especially when pulling it from the earth." "Well, get back out there and find some more. You've only got about an hour and a half left of daylight left, and we need to go to town later to pick up groceries." I rush back outside and continue my search. An hour later, I haven't found anything. No coins, no pull tabs, no nothing. Dad comes out the front door and tells me to come and get cleaned up before we head to town. Well, shit. I mutter silently to myself, upset that I didn't find anything else. We head into town to get our groceries at the local Walmart. While shopping, I split off from my parents and head over to the electronics department, my favorite section in every store. While browsing the newest PS4 titles, a girl about my age approaches me. She taps me on the shoulder and says, "Excuse me." I turned to her and lost my breath for a minute. She was absolutely gorgeous. Right at the same height as me, 5'10", she had long blonde hair that reached halfway down her back and the kindest face I'd ever seen. "Yes," I respond to her ever so nervously. "You and your family just moved into the old Johnson's place, right?" "Yeah, we just moved in a few months ago and are loving it here so far." "Where are my mentors?" "My name's Cory," I say as I reach my hand out for a handshake. She shyly reaches out, grasping my hand and giving it a little shake. "I'm Sarah. It's a pleasure to meet you." "Nice to meet you as well, Sarah. How did you know we just moved in?" I ask. "I'm your new neighbor. My parents and I were going to come over tomorrow to welcome y'all to the neighborhood, but I figured I'd go ahead and introduce myself." "Well, I'm glad you did. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance," I say as I try to exert a little southern charm to try and impress her. "So you're a PS4 fan?" she asked. "Yes, ma'am. Ever since I was a child. No other platform can hold a light to the PlayStation franchise," I say, smiling. "Maybe. Except Xbox, who's clearly better than the PlayStation," she says with a half-cocked grin. "Is that so?" I ask as a smile slowly creeps across my face. She replies, "Yep. Xbox is clearly the better choice, with its amazing game titles, graphics, and controller layout." I'm thinking to myself, this is great. A beautiful girl who has both the looks and is a gamer? Can this day get any better? Well, I don't know about all that, but I was cut off by my parents calling me from a bit of ways that we were leaving and to come on. Well, I gotta run. It was a pleasure to meet you, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow when you and your folks come over. "Same here, Cory. Perhaps we can continue our debate, which won't be much of one considering I'm right and you're wrong," she says, laughing. "Ha, okay, tomorrow then. Have a good night, Sarah," I say as I walk towards the front of the store. I meet up with my parents and inform them of who I was talking to and their plans to visit us tomorrow. "Shit!" My dad screams a little too loud and draws the attention of a few nearby shoppers. My mom shot him an evil look like, "I can't believe you just screamed that shit out loud." "What's wrong, honey?" my mom asks. My dad responds that the house is still a mess and they weren't ready for visitors. "When we get home, we have to tidy up a bit," my dad says. He looks at me, knowing that I fucking hate cleaning with a passion, and gives me the best room in the house. Yep, spare bedroom. That's still a mess and is still under renovation. Fuck me, right? We get home and unload the groceries and commence the cleaning. Mom and Dad say they'd take care of the rest of the house, and all I had to do was the one room, which happened to be the dirtiest one. Go me. I walk into the room, which doesn't have a door, and behold the mess that awaits me. Ugh, fuck my life, I silently say to myself as I start cleaning. High dusting, sweeping, taking out the trash, all the fun stuff that comes with cleaning. I've hated it ever since I was born. I lean over a little to lift a piece of wood from the floor and accidentally pull a small portion of the floor up with it. Oh shit! Dad's gonna kill me, I think to myself. As I go to try and lower it back into place, I notice something. A door. What the hell is that? I think to myself. I slowly raise the piece of wood flooring and reveal a little more of the door. I remove the boards and start removing more pieces of the floor to finally reveal a large rectangular hatch. This thing was a pretty decent size. It had a large handle positioned in the center, and right in front of that was a large keyhole, which looked like it took one of those old-timey large skeleton keys. What the actual fuck? It had these weird designs all over it, accompanied by what were small crosses that seemed to be inlaid by what looked like blood-splattered mother of pearl. I run and get my mom and dad and bring them into the room. Why the hell did you tear the floor up, Cory? He yells at me. I was picking up a piece of wood, and I guess it was stuck to the floor. When I pulled it up, the floor came with it and revealed this door, I explained. Dad gets down on his hands and knees and tries to open the door. It doesn't budge an inch. I think you need a key, Dad, I said to him. He ignores me and keeps pulling. Yup. Ain't getting into this without a key. Previous owners never mentioned this, though. I wonder why. Maybe they didn't know about it, I say. Maybe. Cover it back up for now and continue cleaning. We'll check it out later. So I cover it back up and finish up cleaning. I head upstairs to shower, then off to bed as I noticed it was late and I had to be up a little early the next morning. I wanted to detect some before Sarah and her folks came over. I woke up at about 7 a.m. and was ready to pound the dirt, as they would say. I get dressed, grab my detector, and head out the door with a smile on my face. I had roughly a few hours to detect before Sarah and her folks showed up. I start off in the front yard, and within the first hour, I find a handful of goodies. Old silver mercury dimes, a few whip pennies, and even a Civil War button. I move on from the front yard and make my way to the backyard. Out back, there was a stone walkway that led from the door to the literal edge of the tree line of the woods behind our house. I stopped and thought to myself, why does it go all the way to the edge of the woods when clearly there's no building or path through the woods? There was just a large tree at the end. I shrug it off and start detecting. I was lucky enough to retrieve a few more pull tabs and a few pieces of a Coke can. Go me. I was just about to wrap it up when I got this weird feeling of being watched. It was coming from the big tree at the end of the walkway. I turn and head over that way cautiously. I get to the tree and notice at the base of the tree, everything is dead. No bugs, no grass, nothing living. About 2 foot out from the tree and all around in a perfect circle. What the actual fuck, I think to myself. Here, I hear a voice softly say. I spin around to see who's behind me, but no one is there. I walk around the tree and see no one. The fuck was that? I ask myself out loud. Just when I started getting cold chills, out of nowhere the wind started blowing harder than before. Fuck this. I'm out. I'm going in. Just then the coldness left me and the wind calmed. Wait. I hear a voice whisper in my ear, as if there's someone right next to me. The tree. It whispers to me. I go back to the tree and something told me to wave my detector around it. As soon as I start scanning, I get a signal about 8 inches down. I head to the shed to borrow one of my dad's mini shovels and head back to the tree and start digging. A few minutes in, I heard a clunk sound. I get on my hands and knees and start removing bits of earth with my hands and come across some kind of lid. I start digging around the lid and revealed an old mason jar. I slowly dig around it to remove the earth that is holding it in place, and finally I'm able to remove the jar. It's blacker than night as if it's been painted, so I couldn't see inside. This is too cool, I exclaim out loud. It could be full of old Civil War coins and old paper money, I say excitedly, without hesitation. I untwist the lid, and as soon as I break the seal, the foulest of odors hits me right in the face. It smelled like rotten eggs inside of a 2-week-old dead body. The wind starts blowing harder than before, hard enough to start breaking large branches down from the tree and crashing all around me. Fuck this, I scream out loud, as I grab the jar and head for the back porch. Once on the safety of the porch, the wind and foul smell disappear as quick as they arrive. I look to the tree I was just at, and there were no branches anywhere. It's as if I had imagined it all, which couldn't be possible. I realize I'm grasping the jar extremely tight and loosen my grip. I peek inside and see an old dirty cloth. I slowly and carefully remove it from the old jar. Fuck, this thing's heavy. I wonder what it is. I slowly start to unwrap the cloth, and I am left in a state of shock as to what I see. It's a large skeleton key. Thanks for tuning in. This is my first attempt at narrating stories. So if you enjoy part 1, please be sure to drop a follow, like, subscribe, feel free to share, all of that good stuff. And excuse the bits and pieces of the story that includes a baby laughing, as I am tending to my daughter while I do this, as it's the only downtime I have when I'm not working. So thanks for listening, and we look forward to seeing you again. And please feel free to leave comments down below to let me know what you think so far. Part 2 will be coming here in about less than a week. So be sure to enable those notifications to get notified. Next week, we'll definitely dive into what's in the hatch.